is an Ember Lily, and it is worth way more money than any candy blossom out there. Now, if y'all remember, they added in candy blossoms in the Easter update, which was like, what, 5, 7, 10 updates ago? And everyone has been going crazy over them because you basically can't get them. So all the YouTubers are making clickbait videos, everyone's talking about them, everyone's flexing them, and they feel pretty cool. But here's the thing, the Ember Lilies are worth way more money, and I'm gonna show you exactly why. So as you can see right here, I have a bunch of Ember Lilies that are stacking with these effects here. Now, if you're wondering how I got them, I basically like AFK'd my account at the seed shop, and I simply sat here for literally days and was clicking this buy option here. And I ended up with, let me show you, 8 Ember Lily seeds. Now, I have also went ahead and planted a bunch of them, and then I did this sprinkler glitch, which has made all of them extremely giant. Now, we're gonna go ahead and harvest them, and we're gonna see how much they sell for. But anyways, candy blossoms are so last update. Ember Lilies are the brand new thing. And let me tell you what's going on here. So let's go ahead and harvest this one right here. It is gold, pollinated, celestial, burnt, shocked, disco, and frozen. And yes, the glitch still works on it. So you're able to actually get these gigantic Ember Lilies, which are literally worth so much money. I mean, look at this, bro. It is the size of me. So anyways, we're gonna go talk to my boy Billy over here. Wait, not Billy. His name is Steven. Never mind. So let's talk to Steven and see how much he's gonna offer us for a, $7 billion? Yo, Steven, are you for real right now? So having pollinated, celestial, burnt, shocked, disco, frozen, and gold makes it worth a bunch of money. So we're gonna sell it off real quick, and here we go. Sell this to Steven, and there goes $7 billion just like this. So by having an Ember Lily, you can basically become an overnight billionaire. So what I would recommend is probably using Ember Lilies over sugar apples. Now, I just recently did a video where I started over with 1 sugar apple seed, and I had some really OP pets, and unfortunately, I didn't make that much money at all. I thought sugar apples were gonna be worth billions, and if not trillions, but it did nothing. Now, as you can see right here, here's my current pet setup. So as you can see, my praying mantis, Cappy, he went in and just added like another effect to it. So let me show you the pet setup. What you want to have when you're placing down Ember Lily seeds is going to be a praying mantis, dragonfly, a bear bee, disco bee, and 2 cooked owls. It is a great setup to have basically all your Ember Lily things, or whatever you want to call them, to be worth a bunch of money. Now, dragonflies are like the essential part because they're gonna make them gold. And if you do have a butterfly, it's also a good option. Now, here's the only thing with the butterflies. Let me kind of explain what's going on here. So, I do have a butterfly. This thing basically makes it so if you have 5 mutations, so for example, gold, pollinated, celestial, shocked, and frozen, that's 5 mutations, it's gonna turn into a rainbow mutation, which is gonna be worth 50x. Here, let me give you a chart that's gonna make things way easier. And make sure y'all watch towards the end of the video, because I'm gonna show you how much we're gonna make from all these Ember Lilies in my farm. Now, I basically left my game on for only 2 days and let all these effects stack on it. And I'm gonna show you some strategies as well later on with the new sprinklers that they added in. So anyways, let's get to it. So real quick, I'm gonna be giving away these Ember Lilies, which will make you a billionaire in no time. So if you're just starting out, this is a great way to get one. All you have to do is just really join my Roblox game. Like, it's really simple. Like, here's my profile, here's the actual group that I'm always in, and basically you just click on my name and you click join, and then just be like, yo, what's up, Milky? Can I just have an Ember Lily? And I'll help you become a billionaire. So basically just join the group. I'm gonna leave the link in the description, and just simply, when you're in the game, be like, yo, Milky, please give me an Ember Lily. I wanna be a billionaire, and I'll hook you up. So first things first, here's what we're currently working with. I'm gonna show you my pet setup so you can actually have the most amount of mutations. Now, when you place down an Ember Lily seed, you wanna do the sprinkler glitch, and what you also wanna do is have similar pets over here. If you have a disco bee, it has a chance of making it a disco effect. Now remember, less plants you have, the more chance your Ember Lilies will get the mutations. So if you have like a bunch of plants, so for example, blueberries and stuff, it's actually gonna make it worse for you, and you're not gonna make as much money, unfortunately, because the disco bee, every 20 minutes, it runs the mutation for disco, and it's gonna give it to a blueberry instead of your Ember Lily, so just be aware of that. Anyways, disco bee is a great setup, but not everyone has it, unfortunately, so I have some alternatives. Here is a polar bear. They're kind of easier to get, and they can make your pets be, they can make your plants be frozen or chilled. To be honest with you, it's not the best, so I would kind of sub this for a moon cat or a regular cat, which is gonna make it so your plant is bigger. What we're going for with Ember Lilies, with the mutation glitch, you're already gonna make the Ember Lily be around a 45 kilogram weight, which is gonna increase the value of it. So let me show you how that works. So this is the Grow a Garden calculator, which basically takes every single fruit out there and it tells you the base price. Now, if you were to choose an Ember Lily, it is worth $50,000 at 11 kilograms. So if you just run the mutation on it right off the bat, you can actually get minimum a 40 to a 50 kilogram plant. So what it's actually going to be worth is around $629,000, which is the base price of an Ember Lily, okay? Now, whenever you add more mutations, so let's just say we add gold, shocked, frozen, which is super easy to get, and also wet, but I would prefer frozen over the wet one. You're gonna have a 10x multiplier for the frozen. Your shocked is already gonna be 100x, and your gold from your dragonfly or just naturally having it will be a 20x. So you're up to a 2,180 multiplier, making it worth $1.3 billion for a base plant. So that's pretty kind of crazy to think about. Now with the new event, pollinated is super easy. It's like a no-brainer. So let's add pollinated. Let's throw on the honey glaze, which is a 5x, okay? So now we're already up to 1.4 billion. Now here's where things get crazy. Everyone that got a cooked owl, or let's just say a zombified thing, what was it called? The chicken jockey, right? So if you have the chicken jockey, you can actually add zombified, and that's gonna give it a, I think it's like a 5x, oh no, it's a 25x for zombified. So you're up to 1.7 billion, right? So it's kind of already insane when you think about it. Now, if you have the disco effect, which is pretty easy, so if you leave your game overnight and they run a bunch of those admin events, especially before the update, make sure you're always on before the updates or even during it, because they run so many events. So if you get zombified or even disco is the main one you want. Now you just double the price. So you're already at $3 billion. So that's a great way to make money. And then if it's nighttime, you now get moonlit, which is another 2x. It's not really worth it that much, but the celestial is what we're looking for. So we're looking for the big multipliers. Celestial, disco, gold, shocked, or even rainbow. That's what we're looking for. So we're at a $4.8 billion value for this plant. Now let's just say this plant is gonna be at 70 kilograms. Now we're already at 14 billion. So I know this is just like statistics and stuff, but it's kind of crazy to think about. So let's say we have the cooked effect, which is another 10x. And on top of that, we leave our game on before the event. So now we get the heavenly, and we also get the new event, which is called the molten event. Now we're at another 25x. And don't forget, they always run the black hole events before the update. So now you get 135x. So you're selling your Ember Lilies for $21 billion. That's kind of crazy. Now, I only left my game on for 2 nights, and with my pet setup, we made a lot of money. So let me go over to the pets real quick. And as you can see right here, with this current pet setup, you're already getting these effects. Now, the queen bee is pollinating the plants, the bear bee is giving you the honey glaze, dragonfly is giving you the gold, and the polar bear is giving it chilled or frozen. I don't really use a polar bear because it just naturally happens every single day, the frozen event. So don't worry about that. If you want to get the shocked, just use lightning rods. They're pretty easy to get. If you don't know how to get lightning rods, I recommend having these moles. They're gonna basically dig up lightning rods like it's nothing. Like it's gonna make lightning rods be worth nothing at all, just because it's so easy to get them. So make sure you always have the moles. Now, if you don't have polar bears, or for example, the disco bee, I would sub that for the moon cat because of the 1.5x large. So you're kind of going for like making your plant be bigger, which is honestly not a bad idea to make it be worth more. So just let that sink in real quick. Now, praying mantis is great. If you don't have this yet, make sure you grind the game, go for those bug eggs, because if you get the praying mantis, you're in luck, because it's just going to give you those like variant chances, which is really, really beneficial. So this is my current pet setup. This is what's going on here. Now, before you harvest the Ember Lily, I want you to also have these things right here. So, well, before you plant it, make sure you have a squirrel, because it's going to give you a 2% chance to not consume the seed. It's very rare, but it might work. And I always like to have a monkey and a silver monkey. So let's just say I've already harvested it, okay? You can actually get a chance to duplicate it and be worth even more money. So for example, like they give you a 2% chance to refund the fruit back, and this one gives you a 7% chance to refund the fruit back as well. So that's the silver monkey, and here's a regular monkey. Now anyways, what I like to use is a snail. So when I'm harvesting these plants, use a snail and use a giant ant. These two combined together is a very deadly combination. You can always get more Ember Lilies at the seeds by farming them, but what you really want is when you're harvesting them, you want to have a chance to duplicate it, and you also want to have a chance to duplicate it when you're selling it. So this is basically the entire setup. So here's when you're planting, here's when you're selling, here's when you're harvesting. So do all this and it's going to help you a lot. And here's how you stack it up when you're AFKing. So here's your mutation stack. I guess we can also put the mooncat in the mix over here. So I'm just going to like quickly add it over here. And there we go, mooncat, we got it, perfect. Okay, cool. Now, there's also things like butterflies and stuff, which are, like, that's if you really want to grind it out. So if you're going to leave your game on for like a whole entire month, or you have like an alt account, put the butterflies, because once you have 5 effects, you get a 50x instead of a 20x. But don't forget, if you have a butterfly, your dragonfly becomes useless. So just be aware of that. You don't really want to have a dragonfly when you have a rainbow butterfly thing, because it's going to replace it for a rainbow. So it's going to replace 5 mutations for the rainbow effect. So hopefully all this kind of makes sense to y'all. I'm just going to go ahead and real quick do the same exact strategy I was saying. So we're going to pick up all these things right here. Let's pick them up, and we're just gonna simply place down a bunch of snails. I want to get my seeds back, so I'm gonna place this guy down, place this one. Let's get a few more in here. So now we're up to about 4 snails. Here is an additional snail. Let's also place down a giant ant. These are like killer, bro. You want these for sure. All right, there we go. So let's go ahead and go to the farm, and we're gonna harvest every single one. This is like my pink lily. It's kind of tiny. There we go. This is a blood banana. Wait, what's going on here? Let's actually unfavorite this. The hardest part is like unchecking these things. Wait, that's the pink lily. No, wait, what did I just do? There we go, favorite a pink lily. Yo, where's my Ember lily? Is it right here? So we have a gold pollinated celestial moonlit burnt shock disco frozen. There we go. We have, this one has a little bit less. We're just gonna pick that up as well. And what are we working with here? We're gonna unfavorite this, and we have Ember lily gold pollinated burnt frozen. Realistically, for the sake of just like trying to have more value, I would actually leave this one, but I'm just gonna harvest it anyways, just because we can always get more. And here we go, we have another one right here. Now, lilacs are also not to be slept on. I will just say that as well. Let's go ahead and harvest this one too. What are we working with? Gold pollinated moonlit burnt frozen. It's not bad. All right, anyways, I think that should be good. So let's go over here, and we're gonna go down the list. So all of these are around 45 to 70 kilograms. I think this one should be worth a lot of money, but unfortunately for this, we don't have like all the other effects. Like we don't have, I don't think, shocked, so it's not gonna be worth that much. But here we go. Base price is at 567 million. So if this thing had actual shocked effect, celestial, all those kind of things, it'd be worth way more money. We're gonna sell it to Steven, and let's go to the next one. So now we have pollinated celestial disco frozen gold. We're gonna sell this as well, and what do we got? Ooh, $5 billion. Let's go. This is my big boy. Pollinated celestial moonlit burnt shock disco frozen gold. Yo, this has to be worth a lot of money. And we are at 69 kilograms, so way more than my other one. 13 billion. 13 billion. Okay, we're gonna save this, and we're gonna actually give this away. How about that? We're gonna save that for somebody, so one of y'all that join my game will get to have one of these. So make sure y'all are subscribed, because I'm posting 2 videos every single day, and the new update that's about to drop is gonna go crazy. So this one is worth only 6 billion, but hey, I'll take it, bro. I'm trying to become a trillionaire, so this is the way to go. And what do we got? This one is not gonna be worth that much. I'm gonna estimate like maybe 1 billion tops. Here we go, and 281 million, not so much. How about this one? It still has some effects, and here we go, 3 billion. Not bad at all. Anyways, subscribe, watch one of these videos. I'll see you tomorrow with a new video. Peace.